Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You're most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note through our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. Please do subscribe as a first timer. Like, share and also comment on the video that you're about to watch. Thank you. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what we have for you today.
Pratt. Well, President Ruto has announced that proposed increment in the emoluments of parliamentarians and other political office holders will be suspended. But I think that does not resolve any of the problems in Kenya. First, I mean, throughout perhaps the world or Africa, how many political office holders actually depend on their salaries? So stopping salary increments and so on does not address the question of opulence and the arrogance that we see. Besides, the demonstration against Ruto is continuing in earnest. Yesterday, there were massive demonstrations still in Kenya and so on. And the issue is not about the opulence and arrogance of ministers and public office holders now. The issue, the primary issue, is about accounting for the lives of those who have died in the protests and punishing those who are responsible for injuring more than 100,000 people, as we are told. That's one of the main issues now. In any case, if Ruto's government knew that cutting the emoluments of public office holders could bring in some money to address Kenya's insolvency, why did he then decide to impose taxes on bread and so on? I mean, it simply doesn't make sense at all. Now, I'm worried by some of the narrations about what is happening in Kenya. First, the impression that these demonstrations are just about tax hikes is completely false. The Kenyan people, united and so on, are struggling against the new Liberal Party to development. It's not about taxes. At all, it's not about taxes. It's about the neoliberal party development, which is spearheaded by the IMF and the World Bank, which has led to exacerbating the hardships of people, you understand? Which has led to a freeze on employment in the public sector, which has led to massive devaluations of our currencies in Africa, which has led to the privatization of state enterprises, which has led to the limitation of access to social services like education, health, and so on. That is what the people of Kenya are protesting against. Another narrative which is troublesome is the narrative that there's a youth affair. It is not. It's not a youth affair. You see, somehow the impression is being created that young people have the answers to our problems and so on. Is that true? Look, there are very old people in our society who are extremely stupid, who do not understand the problems that confront our society. They are old people. But there are also young people who are extremely stupid and have no solution to the problems that confront us. So the issue is not about age. The issue is about what solutions work and what solutions don't work. The issue is about whether we should privatize state enterprises or we should not privatize state enterprises. And if you consider that issue, there are young people who think that the best thing we can do is to sell off all the state enterprises. They are wrong. They are young and wrong. There are older people who think that we should continue with this madness of privatization of state enterprises. They are old and they are wrong. You understand? Recently, one of the issues we've had to deal with has been the issue of the sale of snake hotels and so on. There are young people who support it, and there are old people who support it. If you look at what is happening in our country today, a lot of the propagandists of the New Patriotic Party are young people. They have no problem with what is happening. They want it to continue and so on. So I think we should get it right. Our objective must be to unite all of our people in the different age categories. Our objective must be to unite all of our people in spite of the agenda. Our objective must be to unite all of our people in spite of their ethnic background and so on, to build a united Ghana, a united Ghana opposed to the neoliberal order, a united Ghana which is focused on the transformative agenda of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the broad Pan-African movement, a united Ghana which insists that Ghanaian resources must be owned by the Ghanaian people and exploited for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. That is where we should be pushing.
Right, thank you very much, Comrade Pratt. You too can be a part of the conversation. Join us, text line is open. Make sure you send in your messages. Please do not call the text line, I beg you. Just leave a message. Also, we are live on Facebook at facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Make sure you join us there if you can't watch from your television sets. Alternatively, too, we are live and active on YouTube. You can join us on YouTube. Now, let's proceed to our next topic for conversation, and that is actually the banner headline of today's edition of the Insight newspaper. As you can see, economic hardship bites as price hikes for water, electricity, fuel take toll on Ghanaians with prepaid meters running like Usain Bolt. That is the story as captured by today's edition of the Insight newspaper. Of course, in the Kenyan conversation, Comrade Mutala made brief comments about the fact that we are seeing the price hikes in terms of utilities, water, electricity, fuel. I think for water and electricity, they've already taken effect. And I know for sure that fuel would also add to it soon. But for all of these things, a hike in all of these things sees repercussions in almost every sector of the economy. Comrade Mutala, Comrade Pratt.
Well, there's no doubt at all that many of the people in this country and in Africa generally are suffering hardship. I go to the market quite often, and the prices I'm seeing in the market is shocking. I mean, you have one tomato costing 5 cedis. Not too long ago, one okra was costing 10 cedis. Now here is 1 cedi and so on. But the indicators are very worrying. The price of kinky has gone from 50 pesos to 5 cedis, in a spate of 4 months. Everything has become so very expensive. Then you have electricity tariffs and water tariffs, and then petroleum prices and so on. Now, for me, the most important question to ask is, why are we here? That's all. Why are we here? Now, we are here simply because we have overborrowed and run the country into insolvency. And we've gone to the IMF for a bailout, the 17th time. And the IMF is simply telling us that, look, cut your expenditure, raise taxes so that you can generate resources to pay your loans. That's all. All of this increase in taxes and so on, what are they meant to do? They are meant to put us in a position where we can pay the loans, repay the loans that we have borrowed. Okay. Now, if you look at the state of the national economy, the best picture you have is when you look at the fact that we are spending 128% of total national revenue on debt servicing, debt repayment, and public sector emoluments. It tells the whole story. You understand? Now, why should we be here? First of all, the debts are unpayable. We should not be paying the debts. We should not be paying the debts because these debts, the loans we got, were not based on any sound examination of our economic situation and so on. They were based simply on the promotion of foreign policy objectives of the West. When IMF and World Bank were giving Mobutu Sese Seko's government lots and lots of loans, they knew that those loans could not be repaid. But they gave Mobutu Sese Seko's government a lot of loans, knowing fully well that he couldn't pay, because they wanted Zaire or Congo to become the bastion against communism in Africa. Now that's a foreign policy objective of the US, that's a foreign policy objective of NATO. So when you give these monies in order to promote your foreign policy objectives, why should the poor African people be paying for it? I mean, when we went to the IMF for the 17th bailout, something very significant happened. You recall that Western ambassadors went around Ghana saying that, look, if we want to get a good deal, then our president should not sign the anti-gay bill. You remember? That's the objective. That's their foreign policy objective. So we're now boasting about the second tranche or so of $360 million and so on. It didn't come because we have the capacity to repay. It didn't come because the economic indicators are improving. It came because the president simply refused to sign the anti-gay bill, which is an imposition by the US, which has been repeated over and over again by the ambassador here. You know, some of the Western ambassadors actually warned the president. So if you bring money into, exactly, if you bring money into our economy in order to achieve your own objectives, why do you call upon us to pay? And why do you squeeze our people to the extent that we see today to repay loans that you came to spend to achieve your own objectives? So I fully agree with Comandante Fidel Castro that these loans should not be paid. They are not payable. We shouldn't pay them. I fully agree with the resolution of the Pan-African Congress in 1945, which said clearly that we should own our resources and exploit the resources for our own benefit. You understand? So these hardships could be avoided. These hardships are things that we can deal with if we change the paradigm of development. And if we break away from the stranglehold of imperialism, then we can deal with these hardships.
Thank you. I'll do a few more messages, then we proceed to our next topic for conversation. Good morning, Pan-African TV. My name is Alan Barnes from Pishegu, Karaga constituency. My regards to Comrade Kwesi Pratt, Comrade Mutala, and Nanaya Sapon. Please, I need Mr. Nanaya Sapon's contact. Okay. This one here also says that the hardship in Ghana is too much. We are tired. All right, thank you. You didn't tell me your name. Good morning, bless. With people like Katie Ahmad in governance, it's very easy for Ghana to be like Kenya or Haiti. BB from Accra sent this one. Thank you, BB, for your message. Good morning, bless. Randolph Dauphin, watching from Freetown in Sierra Leone. The hardship is everywhere, not only in Ghana, but one good thing our government in Sierra Leone has done is to reduce fuel pump prices. Okay, thank you, Randolph Dauphin, and for your message. Good morning, bless. Good morning, bless. Let our leaders know that what is going on in Kenya is a wake-up call for them to do the right thing for the people of Ghana. Eliasu from Tamale Central. Thank you, Eliasu, for your message. This one here also says, for 9 years in government, is now that they want to bring a bill to Parliament on free senior high by Napoleon Bonaparte in Tumusankofa Beach. Thank you, Napoleon, for your message. Right. Please keep on sending them. I'll try my best possible to read some more before we come to the end of the show. But let's look at our next topic for conversation. CROSAG, they are on strike. Certain people have accused them. They are saying that this strike particularly is politically motivated.
Well, I think that the strike by CROSAG is a legitimate strike. Of course, it has led to a near shutdown of government business, but I think it's legitimate. I had a chat with a worker in one of the ministries, and this worker spends 100% of his total monthly earnings on transportation to and from work. There are other workers whose remuneration is not enough to cater for their transportation from home to work and back. So what are they really working for? The conditions of work of the Ghanaian working people is so horrible that they need to struggle, in order to get, better conditions. And I have no difficulty at all completely endorsing the strike, of CROSAG and other working people in all sectors, of the national life. This morning, myself and Alaji Mutala were discussing Article 71 office holders and their remuneration and so on. It doesn't make sense to pay Article 71 office holders so much and pay other working people so little. Some time ago, we looked at the benefits of presidents, when they retire. And to our shock, we discovered that presidents in retirement earn more than sitting presidents. I mean, unbelievable. This is not sustainable. This has to change. And I'm surprised that this has become a strike by CROSAG, when indeed it affects all other categories of workers, and perhaps the time is coming very soon where all workers will act together and with one voice demand better conditions of service.
Thank you, Comrade Pratt. Our time is up already. Thank you, Comrade Mutala Mohammed. Thank you, Nana Sapong, who is political aide to Alan Chairman. It's been a pleasure hosting the morning show in Kwame Osudanso's stead this morning. And also to you, our cherished viewers who watched from all parts of the country and all other parts of the continent. We are extremely grateful for your time. Let me also acknowledge our YouTube viewers. It appears that these days we have more YouTube viewers than those of you who watch on Facebook. So kudos to those of you who've been watching us on YouTube. We are extremely grateful for your time, Facebook as well, and those of you who watch us from other parts of the African continent through the 46 other African countries. We are extremely grateful. I'll catch you same time tomorrow on the show. Do have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, PENDREAM TV. Really appreciate your time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed as a new member, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell to keep you tuned for any updates that will be loaded onto the channel. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.